Wake up, Itis. Welcome, world. What up, everybody? Can somebody... There you go, because we got somebody sleeping here. See, you walk over there, baby.
Yes.
Welcome to the Patio PolitiCz. I'm your friendly neighborhood asshole, J5TH.
It's your boy T Mills over here, y'all. What's good?
Trouble T Mills.
Yes. The one
Shanga.
and the only.
I'm out here with the neighbors. We don't do favors.
Avenues. Let's go.
The
And we don't need no
value
friends.
that allows you the opportunity to roll with me. Get in the car. Let's ride.
Sir Mac, man.
That's right.
Who else we got in this motherfucker, man?
KenDon far from the pond.
Hey.
Oh, mommy, what's up?
Hey.
Smooth operator in this motherfucker. Yes. Man, shalom, peace and blessings. Salutations to everybody that's out there watching, man. I hope that y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Well and beyond, we have a great, incredible show for y'all today. It's about to get spicy. It's about to get hot. T, man, what we talking about today?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want T to.
You want to read it off entirely?
Man, bring it out.
Make it hot. No,
Bring it out.
let's just paraphrase it, my G. Just paraphrase it.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
out here.
So,
Have mercy.
this is modern day women. I am not your mom. Do not expect
No, not
me.
that one. No, that's the next one.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Oh,
Which
my
one we
bad.
doing?
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Let me see, let me see, let me see.
Hold on. I got it.
Oh, you got okay. You that's the wrong scripture.
Oh, my bad.
Bring it out.
Here we go.
We doing. Oh man.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Dating a woman that can't control her mouth when she's angry is the same as dating a man that can't control his hands.
Can you
while angry.
restate that because she was talking?
You.
Go ahead. Bring it out.
Here you go, world. Dating a woman that can't control her mouth when she's angry is the same as dating a man that can't control his hands while angry. It's just a different form of abuse.
Message. Yeah. And on that note, while y'all ponder on that, we gonna ponder on this.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
We stay a while.
Y'all.
Y'all should already know by this
Man.
amount of time that we've
If you
been
don't
rocking with
stay,
y'all.
you know where
If
you're
you
headed.
don't, you're going to get thrown in the trunk and you're going to get talked to recklessly and you're going to get these hands.
You don't know where
We're
you're
going
going.
to drive you around in circles. You're going to bang around in that mug, and we're going to leave you off in the desert.
Yes.
Leave that car on bricks. You know what I'm saying?
Players Club.
Take out the trash.
R.I.P. Bernie Mac. Dollar.
Son.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we got to get the king in here.
Can you let me?
Yeah.
There
we go.
I was moving a little too fast.
You must be excited about this
Out here
topic.
too thirsty.
Do I need to reiterate it?
Yeah, go.
Because I feel Shanga's a little
what?
more reserved.
Let me
on
tell
this
y'all
one.
what y'all not gonna do today on this podcast episode.
We ain't going to single you
Y'all
out.
not gonna aim nothing at me or say I got a problem with anything or I'm exploding inside, and no, y'all not doing that.
Now, see what you're not
Today,
going
if
to
y'all
do
wanna
is
get
tell us what we're not going to do.
I'm definitely doing that where I'm concerned. If y'all want to get to the getting, let's get to the getting. Let's go.
We can get to
The
we already
movie.
there.
Listen, the movie Booty Call. Shanga, are you Vivica Fox character or are you Tamala Jones?
I don't even remember the movie like that to say which one.
Well, you don't want to be Vivica Fox.
I was gonna say when you said Vivica Fox, did they have a scene where they was like having sex
In
on
a
like the
hospital?
little exercise bike thing?
Nah.
No, that's a different movie.
You thinking about how to be a player?
That was
Oh,
Booty
okay.
Call, wasn't it?
Nah.
I thought it was.
They was in the hospital.
When they was on an exercise bike?
Nah.
They was on an exercise
That was
bike.
Booty Call.
Nah.
Yeah.
Was it Jamie Foxx and Vivica?
They was in
Something
the
like
hospital.
that.
Yeah, it was. It was them too.
And they was on that exercise bike.
Not on the exercise. They was in the hospital though.
I remember a movie with
They was in the
exercise
hospital?
bike.
Yeah, they
I thought
did
it was
in
an
the
exercise
hospital.
bike because the way they did the cinematography is they didn't show everything, so it looked like they was humping.
because she was riding and
Yeah, she was riding him and he was sitting on the bike.
Sorry, I don't have an answer because I don't really remember the movie to pick the character.
Well, what movie
accurately.
do you remember?
I'm not that person. I don't
'Cause I'm
live.
inside.
Woman King.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't live.
What character on Woman King was you? Yeah.
I don't live.
What
on,
character on
I
Woman
don't
King?
live on
Too
this
close.
earth, so I don't be remembering the movies. But if you say a movie, then it'll pull it out my mind.
I just
Woman
want you
King.
to know that I'm not. I'm sorry.
$10.
Woman King.
sorry.
What
That's
character?
15.
Can I touch you again?
I don't know him
No.
by name, but why she think? Have y'all seen Woman King?
No.
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 See, that's a problem.
You seen it?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Why?
That's an absolute problem because we had a whole dialogue about this sitting up in here about everybody needing to go see that movie because everybody was so uptight, draws in a knot.
I wasn't.
Because of the name of it. And I told y'all just go
wasn't.
see it before we have a dialogue. But anyway, whatever. We ain't gonna.
You figured out your character?
Okay, so y'all called me triggered on the last one. Is this?
What did I just say at the beginning of this?
She started off.
Nothing at
She started
me.
off with.
I didn't trigger Shanga until we actually was watching the movie.
Because when I said it was passion when I felt it,
But I
you know,
watched it. I watched it.
He definitely triggered
I could see
me while we
Shanga
was
in
watching.
there.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes. It got real.
But we resolved that.
Yeah, we did.
We got
did.
through that. And we heard each other out. It
I
was
wouldn't
hot.
say that, but
What?
okay.
Okay.
We didn't hear
Abuse.
each other out anyway.
Abuse.
Yeah, man.
Verbal
All right, so you
abuse.
want me to
Pick a
reiterate
Physical
this?
abuse.
No, we don't need to hear that again.
Verbal abuse from a woman, physical abuse from a man when they're both angry.
They
Are
might
they
have
the
just
same?
They might have just tuned in though.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, T. Great job.
For everybody that
This
is
nigga
just
watch
tuning in,
television. Go ahead.
dating a woman that can't control her mouth when she's
National.
angry is the same as dating a man that can't control his hands while angry. It's just a different form of abuse.
Hey.
I believe so.
Okay, so Mac agreed with that.
Yeah. It's hard not to.
I believe it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. That sound more like it.
It's two different extremes.
I mean, it's two different types of abuse, but abuse is abuse.
But we talking about what's acceptable and what's
true.
not.
Because you already know what type of person you are. If you are that woman who knows, I know my mouth. I know my mouth. There are some that's like, because I know my
know
mouth,
my strength.
I'm going to not say what I usually would say immediately. Let me take a step back. And then there's some that's just like,
That's
fuck
strength.
it, I'm flying off the rail.
That's strength, though. A woman who knows that and stops herself from that's strength, though.
But
That's real
Which,
strength.
and
which
it's-
is the same for us men when it comes down to when we get triggered by them emotions, us holding back to respond in that way is also an
and-
exercise of strength.
Yes.
and-
Yes. Yeah.
Double-edged sword though. That's why I say it. That's how you say it. It's
Because a lot of us men were taught if a person put their hands on you, they hit them back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hit inanimate objects surrounding that person.
So you hurt yourself.
I've done so a few times, just because I've been brought to that rage at that point.
Yeah.
It's just like
Oh, yeah.
you're
Me too.
turning me into somebody that I am not because of the things of which you are saying and things of which you are doing.
But is
A
she
normal-
really?
Was the goal to intimidate or take out frustration?
If it's for me, it's like a build up thing. Like you consistently do the same thing. It's like it gets me to a breaking point where it's like I almost just became
So
somebody
y'all-
that I'm
Mine
not.
would
So
be
y'all
mine would
are
be a
saying-
backup.
I just let me hit something else.
So y'all are saying that that a woman can, we're not talking about her physically assaulting you.
Yes.
Y'all are saying that a woman can do something, as in say enough, talk enough, that it would make you lose control of yourself and want to hit her. She has that much power over you that it makes you want to hit her.
That's not.
I wouldn't say
we're not
no.
saying
That
that.
power
No.
over you thing, no.
no.
Because that's what it comes down to.
It does, but that's not how we're wording it.
Do we got power over you to make you raise your voice like that off of the emotions? It's
and
like
talk
it's
to
the-
us crazy
Exactly.
in a way that
We
you
change
know
the
your
similar
loving
analogy.
self
Yes.
wouldn't talk to the man you love.
So it's interesting that we're having this conversation, because I did just
Yes.
have an interaction or a conversation about an interaction where I raised my voice at a guy that I know, and he didn't like it. And he didn't like it because he's used to me talking all nurturing and loving to him. But I told him, while I can receive that I cross a boundary for him, at the same time, first, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have emotional responses, especially in the space that we were in. But at that moment, he had an opportunity to say, hold on, girl, don't talk to me like that. If you want to have a conversation with me, that's cool. And now I know I'm different, but that would have made me say, all right, cool. You know, and either continue to engage in the conversation with him or decided that I didn't want to, which I would not have wanted to.
So I have to speak to that.
But would you have had apologized for crossing that line?
Yeah, because everybody has the right to have boundaries.
A lot of women don't, though.
I was about to say that. I was about to say,
hey,
in
calm down when you
generalities.
talk to me.
You're right about that.
Okay, all right, whatever.
You're
but
right
it ain't
about
no
that.
apology.
You're right about that.
Now I feel
A lot of times it's like, what am I supposed to be sorry about?
But that's and now that's when the extra shit.
But that's the
But
whole reason.
it's factual.
That's the whole reason
It
for the
happens.
topic, because the whole thing is at the root of the topic. The reason why they defend the ability to do that is because if we start looking at that as the same threshold, you know, you always hear the whole, well, I wouldn't have to be this way if you didn't push me to that point, or if I didn't. But I'm like, okay, what if we as dudes said, well, I wouldn't have had to smack you in the face if you learn how to shut your mouth every once in a while. And society ain't trying to receive that. And I'm not saying that we should or should not do that, but I'm like, at the end of the day, like he said, like what allowed you to lose control to speak to me in such a way? Because most chicks, if you actually tell them, hey, don't speak to me that way.
Yeah, just meaning that the same level of control that I gotta exercise should be the same level of exercise that we gotta exercise among like together.
Real shit.
Because there's verbal, there's physical scars and there's emotional scars. So I'm just saying that to say, like, you know, how do we deal with that?
I know this is gone.
Man.
This is gone. Tug at y'all a little bit, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
You know, when people start talking about feminine energy versus masculine energy, one of the reasons why maybe none of the men in this room, but men like to boast about the idea of being like the better sex is because women are emotional and men are not. And so if we run with that whole premise in mind, why is it that it's a problem if she get a little emotional, if you're always boasting about the fact that you can control your emotions better than she can? Wouldn't it then be about you being that masculine energy that can redirect that when that happens, like I said, and say, hold on, girl, don't talk to me like that, and bring that masculine energy back into the space rather than reacting to what, because y'all, no, because I'm just saying, because that's typically what people are saying. Men can control themselves better than women. Y'all emotional creatures, and that's just what happens.
We have to. That's why society embeds it in us, and we face real world consequences for that. Tell me, one of the things, I won't say who he is because y'all know him, but a mentor of mine once told me, like, one of the hardest things to do, this might be a stretch, is to put a woman in jail for something she did to a man. And that's because we are typically assumed that she might have done it out of self-defense. She might have been given a reason to. Yeah.
Spite, yep.
As a dude, I remember, man, all a woman has to do is even hint to the cops that something happened to her. And I remember asking a cop that back at CSUN when I was having issues in a relationship once, and I was like, hey, man, hypothetically speaking, like, me and my girl having intense fellowship. Like, what can I do, man? He's like, unfortunately, bro. He's like, your best bet, just leave. He's like, because if we show up, we have to take you away.
Yeah.
Well, it depends, because in certain instances, being on both abusive and on the abused end, if there's been instances where a cop was called on me because I lost control, but hands were put on me as well, and there were scars. So
that's exactly what I was.
Maybe my situation didn't have scars, but hers did. And the cop was like, "If we take him, we taking. If we take him, we taking you too."
Oh, they did that for you.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean,
that's for sure happening now. Yeah, domestic violence. Both of y'all going down.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe it's happening now, but we still know prevalently that, like, as dudes, most of the time you don't stand a chance. I mean, the cop that I talked to,
no more.
The cop that I talked to basically told me that you have to they have to show up to the scene, and she has to have stabbed you, and you got to be on the ground.
No, and that's we have to bring awareness to that. So if any men are getting abused, you need to call and exercise your rights just as much.
They say who called first.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Whoever called first.
Whoever called first.
There's new favor in these streets.
Because whoever called first is who the cops are gonna go to first to get their story.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Women, with those men that they're having those arguments with or those choice words with, they know exactly what to say to that man to pierce his soul. It is done with intent, pure intent to hurt and destroy that man in that moment. And yet, when that is done, they are not looked at as the one. We're never the victim in that scenario ever. And it's just like, wow, like she just pulled all type of things out of me that never used to be.
She gave you a score. She gave you a score you're gonna see for the rest of your life.
She had that power to just snatch your nuts from out your sack.
Yeah.
And now I have to have even more patience to control myself to not want to rip you to shreds, which I've never been that type of man. I've never hit a woman.
Yes.
But I've gotten those urges to where I've reached my boiling point, and it's like something around here is going to get hurt.
It's going to get hit, yeah.
So you're causing me to harm myself because I'm over here breaking my hand, putting my knuckles into steel appliances, busting through doors because of what you knew you were going to do to me. You just didn't know how I was going to respond because you feel safe.
And just to piggyback off what Shanga was saying, I don't think it's necessarily her having a power over you, but it may be power over your emotions. If she know the right things to say, that's gonna strike a blow in your heart or whatever.
And she's doing it with purpose.
Oh yeah.
Every single time.
Spite.
Well, okay, looking at what we covered on another episode recently about a man needing to be quote unquote emotionally available, emotionally intelligent. Well, if he's emotionally available, then he has to open up to you and give you that ammo to be able to do it. And one of the biggest things that we all talk about in a lot of these kind of spaces is how what keeps some guys struggling to open up is because we know it gets used as ammo later against us. And
yeah,
they know a lot of times that like there's not going to be repercussions for words. I mean, you know,
and with
society has taught them that they are protected by the system, so they can act however they want
and do whatever the fuck they want.
Guys have too, because you still allow yourself to deal with her after she did it.
Because she got GP. That's real too.
It might be more than that. That's real. It might be more than that.
Don't complain about it if you willing to accept the behavior.
I don't even think it's just that.
It is. You're accepting the behavior. Here's the thing.
What about guys who've been married and
it don't matter. It don't matter. You're accepting the behavior. You're giving her the space for it. And that's why I brought up the whole, masculine, feminine thing. Like, be the order and structure. Period.
But if she's not used to that,
she's not used to that,
it's going to turn into a problem.
I got to disagree.
If she's not used to that, flex it, and then if it doesn't change, get the fuck out of there, because y'all are simply saying right now that they gonna use it eventually, and you gonna punch a wall or punch a face.
So is it easy? It's easy for you when you see toxic traits in a man to just walk away.
Hey, bruh, I did it.
Is yes or no on that first sign of danger? Was you like, I'm cool, I'm in love with you, I've been with you for years,
so,
and you did
so
one?
Let me tell you. My experiences before on the first sign, no, but I have learned that away. I should have done that.
We're not talking about learning. We talking about that first thing, though.
I haven't had any more experiences where I needed to execute that, so I can't say I did that today because it hasn't happened. What I'm telling you is I've learned from not doing it that I need to do it.
So how do you teach people who don't know how to do that? Is what I'm asking you. That's my point, because when we're educating people, we can't.
You didn't say that though. You asked me, am I doing it or not?
No, I just asked, have it been easy for you? Because you're telling us to walk away from a situation
so this last
that in a lot of cases don't be easy to walk away from.
Yes. This last time, yes.
And that's
absolutely.
for you, though.
What if you're a very impulsive person?
I got to the point of walking away. But before, I didn't want to walk away.
That's what I'm saying.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, this is love. We got to continue to make it work.
Make it work.
And
work it out.
And these emotions right here, these are
Yes.
temporary. Let's get past this. Let's get through this. But constantly getting hit back.
But we
like,
have to
this
stop
is what's going
doing
on.
that because it's putting people in very unsafe situations. If you continue to interact with a woman who continuously shows you that she does not care, she's going to fire off and you boiling inside and it keeps on happening, why stay there? All you're going to do, it is a matter of life
when
and
we hear
death.
these situations, though,
and you have to choose yourself. Otherwise, one day something's going to happen and the police is pulling up and you're in danger.
Now, for a lot of men out there, I'm speaking for men that I know in personal experiences, okay? What if they don't have nowhere else to go and stay? There's abusive women that stay in situations because they have nothing else to go to.
And I know that I've seen personally too.
On the street?
Nope. There's always somewhere.
No.
Shanga, there's people out here who have nothing and nowhere to go.
There's shelters. There's always, you can.
There's no shelters for men.
Yes, it is.
Where do you find domestic violence shelters for men?
They have domestic violence for men, shelters for men in downtown Los Angeles.
Multiple?
I don't know how many now. I don't know
I
how
haven't
many.
seen one, but I know one thing. I've seen the situation personally happen where a man can be in his own house. The woman can call the cops and they can come take him out of his own house and leave her there.
Yes.
So I don't know about that. This is all I'm saying is if you exercise the discernment in the beginning, you're not even gonna get to the point where you're in the house with a person.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in the beginning.
That's facts. Yeah.
I'm talking about fuck getting into it. Y'all been here 2-3 years. You got kids, and before all of that stuff starts happening, when you are first exchanging
Does
energy,
that make you a quitter?
place, and fuck no.
Nah,
that's not. That makes you smart. That makes you. That makes you vigilant. That makes you observant. That makes you self-love, self-care. Don't take that.
So
if in your interactions she's sparking off, and you like, no.
So real quick, before we adjust more of that, hold on to that.
Go ahead.
Because we got to go to a break. We got to pay some bills, but it's some. Yeah, I got a few things on that too. 5
for sure.
Patio politics. We're gonna be back in a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Your grandmother or your auntie, whoever it is.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
What up? Welcome back. It's getting deep and real.
Yeah.
But as we were on break, we was talking about it. You got some women that be like we were saying, the daddy issues.
Yeah.
A man ain't been in my life to tell me shit, nigga. Don't think you gonna come and tell me
what a man looks like.
Ain't no order and structure.
I gotta speak back to what
move.
Shanga said too, because that's a common response that I hear like men told all the time, like, well, you should have discerned that. Well, you should have seen that coming. I'll tell you one thing. Familiarity breeds contempt, especially over time. And she can have been, the perfect godly woman or whatever in the beginning too.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't with the mouth.
But as people
mouth is the mouth.
But as people become more familiar with it,
it can be created through situations.
It can be created easily. Because
no,
it's
easily. Yeah,
it's how you.
I don't think it's created.
No.
I think it's always been
a woman that is gonna take a woman that's gonna poke you and hit you in the jugular is not just created in a situation.
But
that's like saying once a cheater, always a cheater, and that's not true neither.
No.
Because it's like
a
cheater can be made.
Let me tell you,
because
a woman
it's the sense
that's
when you get
willing
comfortable
to
enough to do something.
No. Because a woman that's willing to take that gut punch shot is really a woman that don't give a fuck. And a situation is not creating that. That woman already is that type of woman.
True. But so would that mean the abuser, say for a man? Could the man be created into becoming that who never was at first?
Yeah.
Okay, now
that story is never told though.
That's where it gets tricky too.
If you don't walk away and you're practicing patience, then you keep taking that.
You ain't supposed
hoping to look to be able to talk to her
that was
and
me
work
all day.
through
Oh,
it.
yeah, that was me all day.
So that's why I say you get when you get to that boiling point.
It's over with.
But it's the way that the culture
Yeah.
frames it. Because I mean, when you look at the way the culture frames it, you know, when a woman walks away from an abusive situation, whatnot, she's strong. She's reclaiming her independence.
Shanga,
But when a
you
dude
disagree with that? Can be created into a woman as well?
What?
Just with her mouth. If she's been getting treated by men a certain way to where she just like, fuck it, these my boundaries, I'm gonna just let it go. I'm going for the juggler every chance now.
Like that's her protection.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't think
But I think that's an out.
But that's why I'm saying she already felt like that coming into the situation with you.
Got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no.
Right.
From previous experience.
But was she I hate saying created, but was she turned into that?
She might have been turned into that, but what I'm saying is she wasn't all cool and calm and collective and then got with you and one day y'all had an issue and she decided she firing from the hip. No, she came
and that's
came
true
like
because
you have to say created, because even though you may not be that type, once you get into a certain scenario of what you think you may want from a mate, you are creating something completely different because of how you're acting. You never started here.
And that's why
that's toxic. That's wrong.
That's why
that's
you
toxic
need to not
but I think
take the shit, because it's gonna turn you into somebody that you're not.
Exactly.
So the first time it get tricky, you might give a person just a little bit of space. You know what I'm saying? Girl, when everything calmed down, like, I told you that shit about my mama being a crackhead and you shot that right back at me like you out of line. If you ever do that again, I will never deal with you again. You got to lay that out there, and then you got to be willing to stand on that.
And
don't let
a lot of us aren't willing to stand on our principles
and
our standards and everything.
Stand on
but
that.
you get called so many things.
Don't
but
matter.
I was getting at that in the rest of what I said.
More,
I
somebody
said,
calling you something and you feeling bad about them calling you something, or you being in jail because
Shanga,
you punched this girl in the face.
That's not right. That's not right,
What's
Shanga.
not right?
Because if we flip that around, we don't accept. Women do not accept that. If we say, well, if a dude calls you this, that, and the other, then you should just turn the other cheek.
I didn't say turn the other cheek. I said get out of the situation.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the sense of like what we're getting at is when a dude tends to leave a situation, then the whole world tends to want to challenge you on were you man enough to handle it.
Who cares? Yeah. That's the problem. People think too much about what other people think.
It's not even about
You're gonna care about what
other
other people think and what they might say about you, but you're not in jail. You don't have no domestic violence charges. You're not being turned into a monster that's going to go out into the world and treat everybody a different kind of way.
Yeah. It's not always so black and white, though.
It needs to be black and white, and that's the problem.
And then, too, what you were saying is what I would advise to a lot of other brothers. Those punching walls, it turns into...
Punch in the face.
Punch in the face.
It could get there.
Even a shaking.
It could get there,
I'm telling you, man, those little nuances and baby steps...
Yeah.
That
especially if you're impulsive like that, going off of those pure emotions, it's just like you could do anything just that quick.
You can't, because and then you're taking it's like that little bit it ain't a little bit, but was it worth giving her all this?
Right.
Because it's shit on top of shit.
Right.
I'm choking you from you, bitch. This bitch.
And that's not to say that you didn't ram her head into the wall once you put your hands around it.
Nah. And I say that too from both sides, because I've had instances where I have a serious conversation before getting with a woman and say, look, this is how I program.
Yeah.
And I just don't play when it comes to these things. And it's funny in games. I shit you not. Every woman then laugh and all that.
Yeah.
No, and it's like, no, but I'm telling you.
They're not used to people coming with those kind of things. So it's a joke till it ain't a joke.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm going to tell you about me before the world or anybody else do. I have put my hands on people.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Now, it's nothing I practice and believe in. And yes, it was wrong. But if this line is crossed, it may or may not happen to you. It's funny until it end up happening.
Right.
But they don't exit the situation. That's why it ties back to what you were saying.
Right.
You know, and I had to really look at myself, not even being impulsive, but reserving all that anger in me and all that. It was toxic.
Because you got to get it out. It's going to kill you.
But that shouldn't be the way I get it out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
At all. Even with her verbally. That shouldn't be the way.
And even though she knows that, she's still going to pluck at that shit.
That's why you need to get away from her.
Yes, because she toxic, man.
Get away from her.
For real.
And it needs to be that easy.
Yeah.
Because
It's never that easy.
It needs to be.
When you work on
That's
yourself,
easy.
man, and get
Exactly.
It's easy.
It's
You choosing
When you
peace.
work on
Yeah,
yourself,
you
you
choose
know
that
how
man.
when somebody says something, it's not your job to challenge it. You should just learn
who
when the
they
time
are.
to speak is and when the
Yeah.
time not to is. So
It needs to be that easy, but we are in a society that will say, "Oh, you weren't strong enough to take that," and blah blah blah. Like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, real
You
shit.
know what I'm saying?
Real
Like,
shit.
Personally,
What do you mean?
personally
Oh, it's a
speaking,
girl. She hit you. That don't hurt. Like, bruh.
Man.
like
Y'all
never-
punches
I'm
hurt.
never
Y'all
hitting-
punches hurt too.
but see,
I'm
but
never
see,
hitting no man with the expectation that I may not get hit back, because have you ever been taught in your life to get
Oh, you a
hit
G
and
then?
not get
That's
hit
G
back?
shit though.
Yeah,
That's G
real
shit
shit,
though.
real
not only that,
That's
maybe
common sense.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
I'm the only
Shanga,
one on the panel who can
you know the
speak
age we living in.
for.
You know,
I don't know about y'all. but
Common
maybe I'm the
sense
only
has
one
grown
here
to be a
who's
fucking
been
luxury.
Come out with a weapon, okay? And
Yeah.
once you've been come out with a weapon, now I never put my hands on no woman, but that was the moment. It was like a serious moment of truth, because I'm like, at this point, like, all bets are off. Like
Of
you
course.
ain't not
Damn,
only
a weapon?
been willing.
It's life or
But-
death now.
Off of her?
Look,
I had a
Yeah.
glass
Look.
vase thrown at me.
but before
I done had more than that
but
thrown at me.
before you got to the weapon, were there not other times that she exercised some tricky stuff?
yes.
And you said, man,
There are times
Yes,
though when
sir.
it's like to a point where you think you
plead
can
the
work
fifth.
through it. That was the
fucker work through
That was
it.
a red
We gotta
flag,
over the
take-
top.
We
No, I'm saying
gotta
that
take
got over the
out
top.
of our, you. That's why I told
They
the
showed
people,
them signs though, Ryder.
That's
In the
why
moment.
I told the people
Yeah,
in the
caught up
last
in the moment.
episode
Yeah,
that we did
that part.
about dating. Set your boundaries.
Yeah.
Whatever you standing on, and set those boundaries. You gotta really be serious.
Yeah.
You gotta be serious about your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. I don't care if I've loved you for a lifetime before and I met you yesterday and we hit it off. Everything is great and amazing, and I just fell in love with you on day one. If tomorrow you get tricky enough that it makes me want to do something that will put me in harm's way, bruh, I gotta get away from you.
Yeah.
There is nothing in me that I am willing to compromise to say, oh, we might be able to figure this out. No, I'm in danger. Look at it as you are in danger, because you are at any given time. Somebody could pull out a knife. Somebody could call the police. The police gonna pull up, and we already know how that story goes. Your livelihood is in jeopardy.
Yes.
Your family
Your freedom
is in jeopardy. Your freedom is in jeopardy. Your life
Peace.
is in jeopardy. Period. So
Now,
we
can I
gotta
ask you
stop
a
doing
question?
It's
that.
not always
Scenario.
so black and white
Please.
though.
Because you saying about
has to
no, it
be
has
be
to
saying
because
shit like-
women are vindictive like
It
that.
has to
But the
become
point
black
I'm
and
getting
white.
at is
One
a
of
lot
my deal
times-
breakers, right? I'll be like, okay, look, I'm the easiest person to communicate with. The moment you come at me sideways and it get all of this, that's you taking them emotions and you turning into that, because I'm never gonna give you that.
Yeah. Real,
Like,
real
so
talk.
for me, like, that's the big deal breaker. So like moments like that happen, it's like, okay, all right, hold on,
That's
like,
it.
that's something else.
Yes.
Right.
But like it's difficult to get past that hump, you know what I mean? Because when love is involved,
Yes.
it's like,
And-
like now I ain't gonna even go there. Now I'm gonna care
and that-
about you and what you've been exposed to.
See, yeah.
I'm gonna look at
yeah.
from
And
a
we
whole
can't
other
do that.
avenue.
But hold on too. Even with what you were saying, Shanga, the reason I'm saying it's not black and white is because, to his point, a lot of times what you can deal with can be very, very passive aggressive, to where you're interpreting the shit. Everything is not always a cuss out like Pam from Martin. You know, it's like
Right.
sometimes it's very, very subtle type of shit.
Like
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Just poking at you, like for instance, it could be a situation where they could maybe think they have a reason to be mad over something, and then, you know, throw something out there. It ain't yelling at you and whatnot, but it's just saying some foul shit like
that passive aggressive type
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I said,
undermines-
passive
Or assassinating your
that
character
undermine
in a
them.
certain
So-
way, or
And so that's why I said,
It's disrespectful.
like, man, I just,
That's why I
why don't
said
you, why don't you
if
just
you-
man up and do this, or, you know, just
Right.
like they say it under
But
their
that's
breath
what-
in such a
but that's
way.
what I'm saying. If everybody goes into relational situations or spaces with an outline of boundaries, then you'll know what things you are willing to flex on, and you'll know what things I am not dealing with.
That's why I wanted to give you an example, because you said you got to lay down the law and order, not in those words. So, you know,
Okay.
but basically checker,
Right.
respectively. So if you loud talking me, like how you said you did the individual, the gentleman, or whatever that was talking to
I
you?
wouldn't say loud talking, but okay.
So you said I'm doing loud talking.
That
Well,
happens
you
a
know
lot
what?
too.
Let me
I
say
wasn't
why.
doing this. I wasn't doing that.
No, because I like for people to be clear, T. Okay.
I think your
because
passion
in my
gets
mind,
mistaken for that.
It does.
Okay,
it
there it
definitely
is.
does.
Yeah.
But when people say loud talking, my interpretation of loud talking is like we both going back and forth, and I'm loud talking you, and that's not what happened between the two of us. That's why I said I didn't loud talk him.
You was passionate
But I
about
did-
Woman King. It was loud, but you wasn't
Right.
loud talking.
Right.
Like it
But
wasn't
my
to
voice-
you. It was about
but
what
my
I was
voice
talking about.
elevation
Right. We
changed.
can feel your passion.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you don't
And
know
even
me,
still in that situation, you'd still be like, whoa.
no. Right.
Relax a little
Right,
bit.
which is
We just
okay.
talking, we having a
but the thing
conversation.
is, if
It
people
was kind of
don't-
like that, but she was so hell bent on her point, and I was hell bent on mine. Like,
Right.
no,
and
I don't care.
And the thing that I appreciate about me and Fifth is I'm not taking it to heart. He ain't taking it to heart.
nah.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
So we know each other
who
hearts.
he is
Yeah.
as a
That's the
person,
intention.
right?
So he like, man,
It was
I know
intense.
it was hot. It was hot.
I've said
Like,
it. I've
it
said
was
it time
hot.
and time and time again. In relationships, it's like
But I
if
was
you
also being willing to hear him, and he was being willing to hear me.
Yeah.
Right.
What was creating the heat
Yeah.
was neither one of us was bending on
Yeah.
what we were saying.
It's
Like, nah, I
like
fuck
if you
with
know
that.
who I am as a person, if I say something and it sounds off the wall to you, immediately you should be able to go, wait
Yes,
a minute,
yes.
I know who he is, so I
Yes.
know that he doesn't mean it the way
Yes.
that I just
Yes.
received it. Oh,
And
this
that
shit
was
is
what
so
I said to. That was part of
preaching?
what I said to the person that I was having a conversation with.
Right.
Because I said to him, I said, I recognize that my voice changed.
Yeah.
I know my energy with him was different because it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't yelling and cussing him out or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I told him that would have been a very easy situation for you to be like, hold on, Queen. I don't like the way you talking to me, because you know the kind
know
of
you.
person that I am.
I'm not going to take it
right.
and assume that you meant how I received it.
Right.
Let me- time
But
out.
if you are not a person of self-reflection and you used to a whole
You
bunch
just
of
going
other
in your
stuff,
emotions.
you going in your emotions, you gonna forget that you talking to Shanga.
Oh,
you
yeah.
gonna forget that
You ain't
she's
gonna
a
give a fuck.
sensible woman.
Yep.
You gonna forget that you can talk to her and you can rap, you know what I'm saying, bring it back. You gonna forget that. And that's what happened. And that's why I was like, bruh, that didn't have nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, it wasn't you.
That was
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, you yelled at me. I'm like, if I yelled, you would have known that I yelled. But I also acknowledged to him that I know that you've never gotten that energy from me before. You've never seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I know you've
when
never
my
seen it.
stern
Yeah.
energy comes out,
You gonna know.
it looks and feels different from a
It's a force.
person who's
It's a
used
whole
to
ass
just
force.
right.
Hey, you know what? I feel like that's well, maybe we already said it in some other ways, but that's a big key point of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can come out like that, but what's really showing up is this.
Right.
And then you have some ignorant dudes who
Right.
instantly just jump on a
Right.
probably already going through his own
Man.
stuff
Right.
and jump on that.
Right.
What you gonna say is never okay for us to
Right.
respond in that way because we got
Right.
more than enough power over
Right.
that situation.
And you don't know how, you don't know how many people then took passion for something else.
Right.
Real
It can
stuff.
be finger moving.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you'll
It's
have
like, wait a minute.
a female do the
It's a
finger
thing.
follow.
It's
Like,
a-
yeah, I'm like, Shang.
It's a thing of uncomfortability.
Get your finger out my face.
Yeah, see?
It's like,
That
wait a
be-
minute.
Hold on.
Like you're pointing, that's disrespectful.
Turn into something else.
But
in that moment.
if a man were to come to you and just hit you with one of them,
Yeah.
then
Nah,
it's
that's-
just like,
Like, you got me up.
Yeah.
I feel if you're not
That's the same
touching,
thing.
if you're not touching or violating somebody's space and arm's reach, anything goes.
But automatically in that space,
You
you're
can-
arguing. If that finger get anywhere near you, you automatically
if me and Shanga,
Like, you gonna grab
if
that
me and
shit,
Shanga,
all
which
that.
we will never
Smack it?
get into a verbal argument. I'm not gonna be
Not my
close
hand.
to her where she gonna. I know she one of these and be doing all that.
You think she ain't gonna walk up on you just a little bit though?
She is, and
Okay.
I'm gonna keep backing up.
That's what I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, hold on. Like,
Hey, but you know what?
That's different.
Real quick before we go to break, I did in my own self-reflection after having a dialogue with the brother to go over what happened a few months ago and stuff. I was asking myself, like, because a lot of different things are popping into my mind because I'm looking at every aspect. I'm not just looking at it from my point of view. I'm looking at it from his point of view and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And so at one point, one of the thoughts that came to my mind was like, this is what be happening where people will turn a situation into like the man is he he has to be more responsible in the space than the woman who's emotional at the a given moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how it gets real tricky. But so then my mind said, how do you stop that from happening? What takes place for that to not happen?
Exactly.
And I was thinking, my first thought was, well, a man that's standing in masculine energy, that is in a healthy space, I think he would be able to handle a woman who's a little off emotionally. And I was like, but is that putting a respongesponsibility on him? You know what I'm saying? That's
she should be able to handle herself.
She should be able to handle.
Hold that before we answer that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get off into this break. It's getting real. It's getting real.
Yeah.
Patio politics.
Shay.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
You are now rocking with the Patio Politics.
World, man, I pray that y'all are listening, man, and getting as much information, vital information as possible.
Yes.
And that has been edifying for y'all soul and y'all spirit and mind. What I would say, too, in situations like that, fellas and Shanga, that you need to have a strong accountability partner in them instances, meaning somebody you could tap in with on the phone.
Like, am I tripping?
Nah, or I'm about to whoop-de-wop.
I have that.
And that can deviate you.
I had that
Yes,
before.
that can deviate you.
That can help bring you back down.
Bring you back to reality.
Sometimes.
All the time. That's why I said the right. And I'm saying the right accountability partner, because you can be honest about everything.
Hell yeah.
I'm thankful to Shanga because she has been mine.
Man.
I'll be in jail for life. Double trip, man. I told her.
And able to get a whole truth.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
And I've always been honest with her to not just say her side. I'm telling my side first.
Yeah.
This what she did.
Yeah.
This what I'm about to do, Shanga.
And I'll be like,
so that's why I'm calling you.
Right.
Or sometimes he'll call and be like, I did this, and then she did this, and now I'm ready to do this. And I'm like, but you
and you know why
that?
You went to the opposite sex. Like, you didn't just come in on one of the bros.
Right.
It be hard, man.
Help me understand.
Because your boy will be on the phone quiet like, damn, that bitch crazy.
But you know what? Your girls are too.
won't
That's
say
why
nothing.
you gotta be mindful about who you reach for.
100.
Because but then that also to me speaks to who you are and where you trying to go, because you know the one that you can call that's gonna validate your BS.
Yes.
And you know the one that you gonna call that's gonna help you
For each
really
and every
navigate
different
it.
situation.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
it's been times you
And it
pulled up on
depends
me
you.
and watch me cry like a fucking baby.
That part.
Because I
In
needed
the car
that.
crying together.
Yeah, nah, for real.
100.
For real. But what I was saying was, in my reflection, it was like, well, shoot, is that putting too much? Is that making the woman not responsible for how she's acting and putting the responsibility on the man? And I'm like, how does that happen? How does that unfold? And for me, it's like, I know it's not a lot of people out here. I'm just speaking it out to the universe. I know the Most High hears my prayers that more of us will begin to be more emotionally mature.
Yes.
And able to control ourselves better.
Yes.
And be clear in our communication, because every now and then as women, something will strike a chord with us and we're going to get emotional. You did something, whatever, that was the trigger, and it's pointed at you. And so we are going to need that. I'm going to say it just because society be making it fucked up or feel funny, but sometimes we need that correction, that help me get back to it. So it's like, hold on. Don't talk to me like that. If you want to have a conversation with me, you need to bring that down. So he's already in control of himself because he's not allowing you to make him react. But then that's the opportunity to see if you're emotionally mature enough and aware enough in self to control yourself to catch it and say, you know what, you right. And I actually had that situation happen to me once with a guy I was dating. I wasn't saying anything to him, but low key, we was in a grocery store and I was already slightly frustrated because I was like asking him questions about what we should get, and he was kind of leaving it all up to me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, my nigga, just make a decision. Lead. You know what I'm saying? And in the middle of me already kind of having that feeling, I got a phone call and it frustrated me on the phone. So when I got off, my energy was a little off.
The mood was off.
You want to know why we do that?
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
So when I got off the phone, my energy was off. Right? So I turned around to him and I was like, which one do you want? And he said, hold on. That energy is not for me. We was just fine before you answered that phone. So take a second. And unequivocally, I swear to you what happened. And that was the instance that I understood the ebb and flow of masculine, feminine energy. Because there was nothing in my physical being at all that wanted to combat what he said. And I figured, like, in my reflection on it, I was like, it just gotta be like the vibration of the energy that just happened, because as soon as he said that, my shoulders dropped and I just walked up to him and just dropped my head on, you know what I'm saying, like right here, and took the moment.
So were you in warrior mode coming off of the phone call? Just
I don't think I was in warrior mode, but I was irritated. I went into the phone call already feeling a little frustrated about my interaction with him, and then that just kind of took it up a minute. So I didn't really have the extra patience that I was having with him before. You know what I'm saying?
Which was wrong to get off the phone, because that cherry on top added. You shouldn't have gave that to him.
Okay, for the sake of the conversation, it was wrong, but I didn't. It was the only reason why I say that is because I didn't intentionally get off the phone.
Yeah, of course.
You know, ready to give him attitude.
It was already on.
Right.
It just came out. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even like I said, like a whole big nothing. He just caught that my energy was different. It was a little, just slightly a little more spicy. He was like, "Hold on." And I appreciated that.
Did you voice your agitation before the phone call?
No, I did not.
Okay.
And that was a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was all of those things, but that was a beautiful moment of an ebb and flow of masculine and feminine energy. Yeah. Because he was like, hold on.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And I told him, when I lifted my head up, I said, man, that was beautiful. He started laughing.
He did better than me.
He did better than a lot of men.
Call back who you called.
But that's why I said emotional maturity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he could have did like your average dude and just reacted to that, even though it wasn't like a big thing, you know what I'm saying? But he could have been like, it's fine, you know, but it was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I just needed the reminder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was open to receive that.
Expand on what you said, why we do that.
I wanted to go back to the pre-irritation before the phone call. The leadership roles or whatever.
When they're in the
Yeah. Okay. Because my thing is we give leadership to our mate in the moments and times that we shouldn't. And I say that because if we're in a grocery store and if you never ask me what should we get, and I just go, you know what, let me just go ahead and lead this scenario. And I start picking up things, you're going to start questioning everything that I put in this basket.
No.
Damn. Really?
No. That's what I'm like, no.
She a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, but
because
you know
it's just like, okay, why are you getting this? Okay, you forgot to get this. You forgot to get that. You forgot. But then we're like, you know what? I'll let you lead. And if you turn to ask me about something that you've chosen, I could say yay or nay.
That's a complicated ass grocery shop.
So, right.
I thought we should
now, the reason why
I think he's saying that because it's rooted in the small things.
And it's rooted in it's
and
rooted
now
in
why
things.
we do that is because men and women are different.
Yes.
So it's like,
so when men hear that, or why you got this or why you got that, it's automatically more times than not a defense, because you think that we have a problem with what you put in the basket when our mind works in detail. So when you put spaghetti noodles in the basket and then you put, I don't know, waffle mix in the basket, and you put kimchi in the basket, and we walking around. I'm like,
Now,
what the fuck?
now, Shanga, let me ask you this.
Just hear me. I'm thinking to myself, well, what the hell we about to eat? So let me ask him. Well, why we got this? See, y'all have a problem with that.
That's not how I sound about it.
I had a question, Shanga. I had a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Women are detail oriented. If
now,
something doesn't make sense, we're asking questions. But a lot of times men think that we are questioning them because
facts.
we have a problem with what they're doing, and we're just actually asking to understand. What we as women have to do is sometimes not ask the question. Sometimes we have to just
see how it unfolds.
Because I want to know, are we going in to shop together, or are we just going in to get some fucking food? Because I'm, like you said, what you call it, detail-minded, oriented?
Yes.
That's what I am. So I'm going in with a list.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. We in here. Are we cuddling?
We going down every road because this is what we do.
Or we want to hurry up. Somebody get in the line.
Yes.
Okay, you get these hours. I'm gonna get these hours.
Yeah.
Break on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break. We in and out.
In that situation, we were going to the grocery store to buy groceries
for
together, and we both eat fish. Mm-hmm. But we ate different kinds.
Okay.
So I'm asking him, which one?
So why not get the fishes that you eat? It's not like, okay.
You mean like she get her kind of she eat?
Why not just get both?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get both.
We could have.
Because
you make the list, I make the list.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We would have if I would have known what fucking kind of fish he ate. That was the problem. And that's why I was asking him.
Because I'm saying there may be instances where we just sitting there on some date shit.
Real shit.
Where we walking down a cereal aisle. We chopping out. What's your best cereal type shit? That's why I asked that.
That sound like fun.
Yeah, no, real shit.
But yeah,
what kind of
that
bread
would
you
have
eat?
been fine. But that was my point. Like I didn't know what the fuck he wanted. And the reality is, the dude at the time, like, was a very passive dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Because I'm saying
like,
we live in a day
like,
and age where it's impossible to have a not so fun relationship.
It is impossible.
Fun into anything. Y'all remember the smallest things. You remember that TV show where you had to fill the groceries up?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that
Supermarket sweep? Yeah.
I wanted to be on there so bad.
Man, we can be in the motherfucker like 2 kids.
It still
you
comes
get your
on.
basket, I get my basket. Let's see who can get the most shit. Whoever gets to the line first win.
That still comes on in Leslie Jones'
grocery shopping with me. I want to do that.
Y'all didn't know that.
Yeah, it still comes on.
That shit was fun.
Leslie Jones is the host. It still comes on.
I'm about to go apply for that.
But it's like it's
I think we
fun.
complicate more things than what it needs.
I agree.
To be. And we shouldn't, people.
I haven't had bad shopping experiences lately because it's like, okay, we're shopping for the house. We already know what we do. We fit to get in here and we fit to hit every aisle and go around and bring. And that's just it's a combination of what you like, what I like, and what we need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. And then certain things is just like, okay, well, I was thinking about this recipe. What do you think?
Yeah.
We could do this. We could do that. Oh, we don't have this.
I believe it's beautiful to cook together, man. That shit
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's fun.
We don't do that as people.
Yeah, no.
Let me chill in the kitchen with you. Let me chop it up.
Yeah. Exactly, because it ties to the other one. We'll get into that. We ain't gonna step into it, but it ties into that whole thing where I think that's bonding time.
It
get
is.
to really intimately know each other.
And the problem is people don't see it as bonding because they all like, oh, women's supposed to do this and do that.
Exactly.
And supposed to do that and do that. Like that's just weird.
Or the dudes go in the grocery store and just grab all snack and junk shit because that's what they used to eating. And the woman is like, I would look to prepare a meal for the family. Like you over here in the cereal, but since I know you like cereal, we gonna stop over there and I'm gonna make sure you get all the cereals you like.
Exactly.
Facts. But not your average. A lot of guys would not like that. They would feel like she's trying to change him. She don't like him, and it's like, nah, babe, you just want to eat cup of noodles.
He got some issues
and chips all day, and I'm just trying to bring
elevate
some
your palate, man.
to your life.
The only problem in that scenario that I had was just
Pop-Tarts, man.
I dealt with a woman. She wanted to like cook something fresh every single day. which I'm not mad at.
Yeah, it's nice.
But the way that I was brought up is just like, hey, we just cooked on Sunday. I could eat this all the way till
Wednesday. Shit, Thursday?
Yeah,
okay.
Thursday.
In that situation, I would have let her slow herself down, bro.
That probably would have been
Mac,
like in a moment. That probably would have been a balance that you would provide in that situation.
Yeah.
But
I would have let her keep going, man, and let her slow down on her own.
It's still so stern because she'll combat it with, why do you want to keep eating on this?
Oh yeah.
When you can have
shit, because the shit
fresh.
good.
Because what she was trying to teach you was to live in luxury, Mac.
If she wanna cook for you,
I know how to do that.
Survival,
I know how to do that at the same time. You feel me? But at the same time, it's like, if it's good.
Every dude that just heard that was like, this is tripping. I wish my girl would cook a fresh meal every day.
Go ahead.
Not me.
Because sometimes
I'm gonna stretch that taco meat out.
You know what?
Hey, easy.
Hey,
you might take it for lunch or something.
She lives in wealth and abundance. That's why.
I mean, and yeah, it's appreciated, but sometimes it's like, hey, we ain't gotta cook up everything we got in the refrigerator.
And she telling you,
man,
I don't care about that because we got money to get this food, so it don't matter if I cook it up.
We can use that money elsewhere.
And she telling you,
it's all about balance. It's all about balance. I'm not telling you that you got to eat the same shit for 5 days, but I the way that I was raised,
cut from a different cloth,
right?
And I could
change
do
it up a little bit sometimes.
And I could do that. But guess what? All right, here's where my happy medium is at. Okay, you want to cook a fresh meal every day? For sure, do that. But what we had for dinner last night, I'm having it for lunch today.
That's cool.
While we cook something fresh.
I just
and
said
new.
that.
That's cool. Compromise. Conversation and compromise.
I'm open for compromise. I'm open.
Can't put a South Central nigga in no bed.
I mean, you can.
We ain't sleeping in the bed though.
He gonna find a way to sleep on the floor.
Matt gonna be in the mansion sleeping in the guest house.
He's still gonna be. He gonna have a 5-star chef still eating Pop-Tarts.
Fuck the bed.
We gonna take.
It's like
eating hot
I'm gonna
dogs.
snack on
All
this
right,
still.
y'all, let's take it to break.
We gonna take a quick break, man. We'll be back, man. More Patio Politics.
We in the mansion.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
What up?
We need more cowbell.
No,
Your
we
boy
don't.
T Mills bringing you back
You
from
gotta,
the bay,
you
from the
gotta
break.
be gentle.
From the bay? Come on, T.
break.
You
From the
slip
bay.
that shit in, man. Quit being
Yeah,
slick.
I didn't mean to. I was.
Shout out to the Bay Area, man.
South Central Los Angeles.
Yeah, like
What
that.
you wanna do?
East Oakland, y'all. East side.
But coming back from the
Whoa,
break.
T.
The east side. Did my brother hear me?
Yeah,
I'm from the east side.
Message. I heard you, right?
Whoa.
Every syllable in there.
I felt the breath on my arm.
So what would y'all say? So y'all agree with with what T read, right?
Hey,
That it's the same thing.
It's the same
Yes.
abuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the
To a
same-
certain
abuse
to a
extent.
certain extent though,
To a
because
certain
we
extent.
powerful as fuck, man.
I know.
Abuse
And we
is
can't-
abuse, though.
Like abuse is abuse, but our form of abuse, like I'm just saying, if you're a man and you know what you're capable, and you know what
But
you're
are-
capable
are-
of,
Are you really gonna hit a woman with
I
everything
can't
you got?
equivalate.
But see,
I can't
let me ask
equivalate
you.
my heart to your. You can
I feel
die.
with our
You gonna hit a
abuse,
woman with
with our
everything you
physical
got,
abuse,
though?
it can hurt more than just the physical too.
Are you gonna
Okay,
hit
let
a woman
me
with
ask you
everything
this
got,
then,
though?
Kay.
Yeah,
Knowing that she's a woman,
Some
and
dudes,
you're
We always acknowledge the fact that dudes are
But it's
physically
some dudes that
powerful.
will.
So we always acknowledge the fact that dudes are physically powerful, right? However,
I know the other side of it. That's why I say it's thin.
no, but I was even going to ask too.
Go ahead.
how many times do we even ask women to look back on the things they've said and be like, can a dude say the exact same things you said to him in a different context?
They're not doing it, and they need
sharp,
to.
As sharp as you said it,
That's
as,
not
as,
happening,
as
but it
heavy of a
needs
weight
to.
as you said
And
it.
That's what
and I feel like that's what we providing
And
here.
then, and the next day, you still gonna be ready to be the same kind of good woman.
But I think that's what to me, if we shoot back harder
called your
at
daddy
how
a
they do,
crackhead.
that's what will warrant the weapon from the woman. That's why I don't get if you ain't saying nothing slick and sharp, why are they coming at you with a weapon?
Real, yeah. yeah.
Now you're different from me.
Well, I mean, I can.
But
discuss that on-
knife getting pulled out, I'm walking up on it like, do what you gotta do.
But
ain't
I
got
know,
time for that. I
but I
can
know
talk
what
about
the
that
point
another
is,
episode,
though.
but-
It's not like we don't hurt too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's basically what it's saying. It's not like we
Yeah.
don't hurt too. And I feel like that's the part
Different
that
type of pain that could feel the same type of way in a sense.
right,
but
or
just
because we show it differently. Be
Yeah.
like, you're not hurt like I'm hurt.
as physically
Nothing like that.
as
Because
much as you're hurt
I didn't
physically.
hurt that.
But
I
yeah,
didn't hurt
Okay,
that.
I just thought of something, okay?
But
'cause
Kay.
Shoot it.
I agree with you, and it's like, because it's some things women have said
bingo that they
that
can't take
hurt
back.
so much emotionally, psychologically, it ended up being a detriment physically, meaning a man may have killed himself from it.
Bingo.
So I'm just like, shit. Like,
But she would
Nah,
get, she
nah,
would get the
I'm
same
still gonna
thing,
classify
though.
that as a he thing. Not saying she didn't provoke that.
yeah.
She didn't bring out that.
Yeah.
And you was weak enough to allow her to do that. That's a whole other conversation.
Nah,
The same
we're
thing
playing
can
with
happen
fire,
on the
Kay.
other hand, though.
We're playing with fire,
Because-
Kay.
Huh?
We're playing with fire. I disagree.
No, I know
wholeheartedly, brother.
I know we playing with fire, but then it goes back to that video that we just seen the other day. How much power do people really have?
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah,
said something
especially over
earlier
you.
about the
Realistically,
about your
like the
reaction.
root of it, how much power do people really have outside of what we give them?
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Right.
That's my point.
That's real.
Maybe
On
this will be
both
misunderstood, but it's a curious
Heavy.
question. The
What
reason,
you say
the whole
earlier?
reason why women can do that is because there's a low level
Abuse
threat of
is
violence.
abuse.
Nuh-uh.
Oh.
From your-
Oh,
The whole reason that
Go
women
ahead,
can
Kimber.
the whole reason that women can do that is because they have a low level threat of violence amongst them. All right. Case in point, if we come across one another, we don't know each other. We size a dude up to see.
So you
Now-
believe it's the same though?
But,
G?
but hold on. Now with a woman, because they know that they can be protected, that's why they get away with that shit. Now if we removed
I doubt
if we
that.
removed from society all shame and all just looking down on a dude for getting physical with a woman, if he got physical because she provoked him to, and nobody did anything about it, basically, case in point, if we had a world where men could hit women back in any case and scenario,
it wouldn't be no shit talking.
You know what?
it wouldn't be no shit, and we still
Except from the
and
real.
we still could
the
hold
crazy
ourselves to a
part about
standard
that
of
is
not hitting
that's
women.
actually not true.
Now, you
think
know
so?
what?
No, it's
I
not
come from
true.
mama, right? Maybe why that's why my views and it's coming out a certain way because mama.
Tyre is basically saying that
I
women are
gotta
doing
listen
that
to you.
because they think
Yeah.
they don't get
Drilling
away
me.
with it, and
You
I'm
know what I
saying that
mean?
women
Like-
are doing that because they don't care. They're emotionally
But they
immature.
don't care because they can get away with it.
No, they're not even in the space to be thinking I could get away with this, so I'm gonna do it.
It's
She's
a
emotionally
sickness.
charged.
It's a sickness.
Yeah.
It's a sickness
It's a
like
mental-
like to
a mental
physically
institute.
abuse a woman is a sickness.
Yeah, it is. Facts.
Period. You get
And the
what I'm
same
saying?
thing though.
I'm just using an example. I'm
thing
not
we-
advocating
And we saying
for
the
it.
same thing, vice versa. We not
Yes.
saying either one or the other. Just
Yeah,
saying that.
everybody's out of pocket.
Just
Whether
when we
you
make that
hitting or you spitting,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
out of pocket.
Yeah.
they can
And
all
everybody-
lead to the same thing.
Yes, they
Yes,
can.
they can.
And
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
needs to learn and grow in their emotions and their self-control so that we don't end up in these places and spaces. You need to be able to control your emotions enough, or at least know yourself well enough to know that I better slide up out of here before I
Yes.
say something that's tricky.
Yes.
Or I need to slide up out of here before I put my face in between her eyes or his eyes, because sometimes women be hitting on men.
Yes. Hold up.
It has to.
Man, check
We gotta
yourself
do
before you
that.
check somebody else.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta do that, man. The patio, we out here.
And what I just want to say, if anybody's wrestling around with that, where you can't keep your hands to yourself, both women and men, please
And or
find
your
some
words.
help. Yeah, that too. You need to seek help,
Oh.
and it's okay to do that.
Yes.
You know, and it's really a sickness that's heavily relevant in the black community because we don't have outsources and resources
Yes.
as black men to go see somebody and transparently say, I need help. Not anger management classes that you have to be
No,
forced
just- yeah.
to go to because of court and a fine you gotta pay. But everything. And sisters, if a man put his hands on you and after that first time he does it, you still want to stay, but he's not willing to put in the work to change himself, to stop himself from even being that way, then you gotta get the fuck out.
Right here. Can I close this out with one more thing?
Man,
Ladies, this is so important. It's a conversation I have with a lot of sisters. We want our men to be open. We want them to be vulnerable.
Yes.
We want them to be emotionally available. If you want that in the world, period. If you want that in the world, if you want to encounter men like that, when you meet a man and you are in a space and y'all create a space where he's safe enough to tell you intimate things he's experienced in his life, he's experienced in his family, things that penetrated his heart.
Yes.
Please, 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 seriously, when y'all get up in arms, the energy is high, you upset, sis, do not shoot those things back at him. Because what you then create is a more broken and defensive man whose heart is now closed.
Yes.
And he's never going to say or share or tell anybody else. And I'm saying that to you because you might be like, well, I don't care about him. He can go on about his way. But if every woman thought like that, the next man that you meet, somebody else could have already done that to him because she wasn't putting it into practice. And you will never be able to truly have the type of relationship that you desire with that man. So put it into action.
Yes.
With the men and women in your life.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking really more so about the interrelationship between a man and a woman, because I meet a lot of black men who say that, like, I ain't never told nobody this because I did it one time and it bit me in the ass and I'm never going to say it again. We don't want that, ladies. We want our man to be emotionally available and open and honest.
Yeah.
So please, please, please have enough self-control to not take that extra shot.
Yes.
And tell him, I know
respect
your mama's a
and protect.
crackhead. That's why you
Yes.
act like that. Please don't do that.
And we out of time, y'all, but I have to lay this because it's heavy on my spirit right before we close out. But ladies, if your man is abusing you, beautiful ladies, 323.
Oh,
hey, I love y'all, man. Look, Patio PolitiCz, man. I love y'all. Hope y'all love us. Like, share, subscribe, all that. Patio PolitiCz.